What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my FX Racer career mode. Today we have episode number 2 at the Austrian Grand Prix, but if you did miss the first episode, then be sure to go and check that out. And as you can see, the results are on screen now. Still a lot of learning to do, but overall a pretty solid opening display from me, as I ended up P6 and it was Gons who ended up with the race win. So that is the standings in the championship coming into this race. So there's not much else to say apart from be sure to leave a like, share and subscribe if you're enjoying this series, and if you're looking forward to the remaining episodes. As you can see, there's quite a few of them left still because it's quite a long season, and we're going to jump into qualifying. This is obviously the format that we are doing in this season. We're doing 10 laps, qualifying and race, and professional difficulty. And as I've now been told, I can qualify on the super soft tyres. So let's get straight into it. So as usual, we are indeed going to see a time lapse of my qualifying effort, as I've now obviously just done my out lap. That was a wide moment there. Obviously I did not mean to do that because I haven't actually done any laps of this circuit ever on this game before I jumped straight into this qualifying session. So my out lap was my one reconnaissance lap to try and get used to the circuit. As you can see, it is actually different to Austria in real life. It's not the same as the Red Bull Ring, whereas we found in Australia, Albert Park was very similar to in real life. As I crossed the line and I stay in P20, so even though I had that wide moment earlier, I'm going to need to go for another lap here if I want to try and improve my position. Although look at the top right, the tyres are already over 25% more, which is not good for a qualifying lap. Another little wide moment there, so this is not looking good, you know. It maybe doesn't appear that I have as much pace on this circuit as I did in the opening round of the season. Out of the final corner and up to the line, where are we going to put our car? Only P18, and qualifying is finished. However, we have an asterisk, ladies and gents. We have a game-breaking glitch. My lap time was a 108.4, and therefore that should put me P6 on the grid. But for some reason, the game has put me in P18. So I don't know why it's done that. Nevertheless, I guess we've just got to start from 18th on the grid. We're going to start on the super soft tyres and be aggressive to try and make up these positions quickly, as we are now underway at the Red Bull Ring for the second round of the FX Racer career mode. You've seen the starting grid there. Diggory getting all out of shape as we head in towards turn 1. We're going to make a dive up the inside. Nicely done there. So we've already gained a few positions up into P13. We've got Vida Azante up next. He's on the soft compound tyres, as we are now heading up towards, I think, is this supposed to be turn 3? I guess maybe it is. We're actually going to dive up the inside there and maybe make a position stick. No, we're not. We're still side by side. I had no idea because there's no camera or proximity area or anything. I thought I'd actually managed to get the move done there. So apologies for the contact. I genuinely didn't know that we were still running side by side as I'm trying to go all the way around. Classic. But we've made contact, and this is the problem again about the AI just being super sensitive to contact. And well, let's just see if we can get a quick replay up. I'm not sure if there's anything I could have done. Classic just kind of moved across, or did I turn in a bit too early? I don't know. That's probably a racing incident. I think it's hard to put the blame entirely on one person in that particular scenario. Classic, I think, is only lost 1 or maximum 2 positions. The AI do recover pretty quickly, as I'm now making a lovely dive bomb there up the inside of that blue and orange car. I didn't catch who that was. I believe it was Gons, actually, our race winner from the opening round, as we're now coming towards the end of lap 1, and I've gained 10 places from where I started. That's been a really positive start to this race as I go up the inside of Hatura, and now I've gained another position, although thankfully he didn't lose out too much. You saw he just immediately rejoined the traffic. So this is what I mean about the AI. Although they're super sensitive to contact, they're able to recover really quickly. That was a lovely dive bomb there on 12 at the inside of turn 1. We're now on lap number 3, and my tyres are really going off. So I'm going to be aggressive today, actually, and pit in for an undercut. So I've now got all the way up into P6, and we're going to go for a set of medium tyres for a 2-stop race. As we come out of the pit lane, then it appears that I'm the only driver who's actually made a pit stop at the end of lap number 3, and indeed I am in stone dead last once again. So I've got to make sure this outlap is really good. But we move on to lap number 5 now. This is the end of lap number 5. My mediums are already like a third worn. I'm only up into P19, although that's because a lot of guys here, they all are. They're all rejoining from their pit stops here. But I need to be aggressive, so I go for the gap. That's a super brave move there on my teammate Julian69, and then Leo F1, who I believe was the net race leader, has just come out of the pits in front of me. So actually I'm now up into P11, but I think I'm fighting for net position for P1 because Leo is leading the Grand Prix. I think he started on pole or very near to the front, as by the time we're getting towards the end of the lap, 12 is the current race leader, followed by Sparks, Hachura and ORT, and then IGG 2002. But all of those guys are now coming into the pits, and I am indeed up into P3. So are we about to see some more action? I brake early to try and get a better exit here. And, you know, this is game on. We are now fighting for the win. Although, if I want to actually do that, don't forget, I still need to make a second pit stop. So, ideally, I need to overtake these guys and then build out some sort of gap. But it appears that they've both got very good pace as Leo brake tests me. And he goes off the track, although he does rejoin in P3. I'm now up into P2. That's not going to be like that for long anyway, because I'm coming straight into the pits. So effectively the positions will be reversed, but I'm sure we can get a replay of that now as I dive in for another set of super soft tyres. Oh, my apologies for that incident again. I think that was arguably a brake check. I didn't expect him to brake so early, as I'm now coming out of the pit lane and there's all sorts of cars gaggling up behind me, and I think I'm in P14, so currently outside the points as I run it a little bit hot into turn 1 there. But we're going to see a time lapse now, and hopefully I can have enough time to try and gain back some of these positions, and therefore mean that I can still score some points today. So on the outlap you can see I have caught up to the drivers in front pretty quickly, which is exactly what I needed to do. I'm still not sure actually who are the drivers in front of me. We'll be able to get a closer look now. It is indeed IGG, who had a very high up, who finished very high up in the opening race. As again, as I tried to use the slipstream there and he went off. I'm not even sure there was any contact, but that's what I mean about the AI being super sensitive, as I'm now going to catch up to Diggory and hopefully see if I can make a move. He's on hard tyres. I'm just going to go clean round the outside in the middle sector, and that's a lovely move there up into P12. So we're making good progress, although don't forget the tyres are wearing out. And as we start the final lap of the race, that's a brave dive bomb on ORT, and unfortunately there is a bit of wheel banging. I don't know, did I leave enough space? Let me know down in the comments. Let's get a replay of that one as well. So super late on the brakes. I tried to hog the inside. I think ORT still had enough space on the outside if he'd used the full extent of the track and the runoff. Never mind, moving on to up into P11 now, catching up to TX19. There's more contact. Oh god, I'm still not used to this game at all. Let me explain my reasoning for that move. I tried to kind of perform a switchback move, so I'd have the inside of the next corner. Watch as I turn the steering wheel just a little bit too late, and I think TX19 almost kind of continued straight. So yeah, another incident. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'd have got past anyway, but it's P10 at the Austrian Grand Prix. A disappointing weekend overall, but I think it was always going to be very difficult for me, particularly with a two-stop race. Look at this. I think I was the only driver except the bottom two who did a two-stop race, so that's something to bear in mind. I will try and do a one-stop in Abu Dhabi and see if that helps me finish higher up, because I have got good pace. I thought more of the AI would do two-stop Grand Prix, so yeah, it was going to be difficult starting from P18, but considering that, I think that's actually a pretty decent result. But there's the podium. KA Falcon wins this time, Leo is second, and Bulls Gaming is on the podium. And here are the championship standings. So we've got two different podium sitters. KA Falcon, though, is your current championship leader, as he's got back-to-back podiums in Australia and then again today in Austria. I'm currently in P9, 2 points ahead of Sparks in P10 and 3 points behind IGG in P8. But that's it for today's video on FX Racer. I hope you enjoyed it. I am enjoying it. I know I've still got lots of learning to do. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in Abu Dhabi. Goodbye.